Hello and welcome to part 2 of the MPs Staff Pension Scheme presentation. As mentioned in part 1 of the presentation, we have built a pension scheme website for all members of the scheme. The website can be found on www.legalandgeneral.com/MPS Staff. The website will hold all the information you need on the pension scheme. It contains the member booklet, an investment booklet, and various other useful documents. One of these useful documents is the nomination of beneficiary form. If not already done so, I would recommend that you complete this form and return to Legal and General. Also on the website, you can get access to the online tools which can help you manage your pension plan. We will discuss some of these in the following 2 slides. You can register for Manage Your Account via the scheme website. Manage Your Account is similar to online banking. When in Manage Your Account, you can view your fund value, the total number of contributions paid into your plan, and details of funds and where they're invested in. Also within Manage Your Account, you can do online switching of investment funds, and you can change your personal details. We also have the Attitude to Risk tool. This is very useful if you are considering choosing your own investment fund rather than keeping to the default fund. With this, you answer 18 questions which are non-pension specific. The result from the answers you provide will confirm your attitude to risk. For example, it would show if you've got a low, medium or high attitude to risk. You will then be presented with a list of funds that match your attitude to risk. This is a very good way to select alternative investment funds. We also have a retirement planner. This is a very informative tool, and I would strongly recommend that you have a go at using this. With this tool, you enter you and your employer's contribution rates. You also enter the date you wish to take your benefits and the target pension you wish to accrue. You also have the opportunity to add pension funds from any other pension policy that you hold. The retirement planner will then calculate an estimate fund value at your selected retirement date. It will also provide you with an estimate of benefits that would be available to you. This would include tax-free cash and annuity, income drawdown benefits, and also an estimate of your tax liability should you decide to take all the fund as a cash payment. We will now move on to the pension flexibilities that became available from April. Prior to April, the only option available to the majority of us would be to take 25% of your pension fund as a tax-free cash and then buy a pension annuity with the remaining 75% of the fund. However, with the reduction of annuity rates over recent years, these were starting to be of poor value. So, since April, you have a number of choices on how you take your benefits. From age 55, you could take your entire fund as cash. However, only 25% will be tax-free. Legal and General would then deduct tax at a rate of 20% on the remaining 75% of the fund. Alternatively, rather than taking the full fund as cash in one go, you could take a number of ad hoc cash payments from the fund. You also have the option of taking up to 25% of the fund as tax-free cash and then keeping the remaining 75% invested in the fund. This is called Flexi Access Drawdown. You can then take regular income payments from the remaining invested fund. Finally, you can still take 25% tax-free cash and use the remaining fund to buy a pension annuity. This will provide you with a guaranteed income until your death. We're now going to go into a little more detail on the new pension flexibilities. As mentioned on the previous slide, you You can take all or some of your fund as a cash lump sum. The first 25% of each payment will be tax-free, and Legal and General will deduct 20% tax for the remaining 75% of the fund. The minimum lump sum payment you can request is £2,000, and you can have one payment free each year. The following payments within a tax year will incur a £20 charge. A £20 charge. With the Flexi Access drawdown option, you can take up to 25% of your full fund value as tax-free cash. You then take regular income from the remaining 75% of the fund. To qualify for this, the minimum fund value for a Flexi Access drawdown is £30,000, and there will be a one-off £250 charge to set up this feature. For the first time, we now have options on how we take our benefits, and as such, we now need to make informed decisions. With this in mind, there is now a new government-backed service called PensionsWise. This has been set up to provide free and impartial guidance on your options. From age 50, you can contact them and arrange either a face-to-face meeting with someone from the Citizens Advice Bureau or a telephone call with someone from the Pensions Advisory Service. Legal and General will be writing to you when you take your benefits to give you the contact point for PensionsWise. Throughout this presentation, I have informed you of the online help and support that is available to you. However, there is also a dedicated telephone helpline available to answer any query you may have on your pension scheme. The helpline has an excellent reputation on the support it provides, and it also has extended opening hours. The helpline number is 0345 070 8686, and I would be happy to take any queries you have on the scheme. If you were employed by a returning MP in May and had benefits in the Portcullis scheme, you will be sent a transfer pack in late November, early December, giving you the option to transfer your fund into the new Legal and General scheme. If you want to do this, you will need to complete the acceptance forms and return them in the prepaid envelope by the 4th of January. If you have opted for the transfer, you will receive written confirmation that the transfer has been completed in February. We are now coming to the end of the presentation. So here is a quick summary of the benefits which have been outlined. You get the benefit of a 10% monthly contribution from the employer. Any voluntary contributions that you make will benefit from tax relief. You can take advantage of all the new pension flexibilities within the scheme, and there is a range of online tools to support you. Very importantly, the scheme is monitored and governed by professional and independent trustees. This now concludes the presentation, and thank you for taking the time for listening.